Walt Whitman stands as one of the most influential and pioneering figures in American literature. Born in 1819 on Long Island, New York, Whitman emerged from a modest background to become the poetic voice of a rapidly changing 19th-century America. His legacy is marked not only by the unique style and structure of his poetry but by his profound dedication to capturing the spirit, contradictions, and aspirations of a democratic nation. His most famous work, Leaves of Grass, first published in 1855, was a radical departure from the conventional poetry of the time. With its free verse, candid subject matter, and spiritual exuberance, the book redefined American poetry and positioned Whitman as a literary revolutionary. Whitman's approach to poetry was deeply rooted in his belief in the individual and the collective soul of the American people. He celebrated the common man and woman, the laborer, the soldier, the nurse, the immigrant. His poems conveyed a deep sense of humanism, recognizing the interconnectedness of all people, regardless of race, class, or gender. This inclusivity is most powerfully displayed in poems like Song of Myself, where the speaker becomes a vessel for all voices and experiences, blurring the lines between self and other, poet and reader. Whitman's use of the first person was not a celebration of ego but a declaration that the self he spoke of was also the self of every American. Whitman's life experiences significantly shaped his work. As a young man, he worked in a variety of jobs: printer, teacher, journalist, which exposed him to the full spectrum of American society. He lived through turbulent times, including the Civil War, which left a lasting impression on him. During the war, Whitman served as a volunteer nurse in Army hospitals in Washington, D.C. The suffering he witnessed deeply affected him and infused his later poetry with a sobering sense of mortality and compassion. His wartime poems, particularly those in drum taps, reflect the human cost of conflict and the deep emotional currents running through the American experience. Whitman was also notable for his sensual and physical celebration of the body and nature, often drawing criticism in his time for what many saw as obscenity or indecency. He wrote unapologetically about the pleasures of the body, love, and sexual desire, challenging the prudish moral conventions of the Victorian era. Yet his frankness was never gratuitous. It was integral to his vision of unity between body and soul, the sacred and the profane. In Whitman's world, to celebrate the body was to celebrate the divine. He believed that the human body was a microcosm of the universe, and that through it, one could access deeper spiritual truths. Stylistically, Whitman's poetry broke with the rigid meter and rhyme schemes that had dominated English language poetry for centuries. His free verse was expansive and fluid, mirroring the rhythms of natural speech and the democratic ideals he championed. This stylistic innovation allowed Whitman to write with an unprecedented range and openness, giving voice to a multitude of experiences without constraint. His long, flowing lines and cataloging techniques created a cumulative effect, echoing the vastness and diversity of the American landscape and its people. The scope of his work was ambitious. He sought to write not only about America but to embody it, to become its poetic soul. Whitman's relationship with America was both celebratory and critical. While he idealized democracy and the promise of equality, he was also keenly aware of the nation's failures, its racism, its inequality, its materialism. He envisioned America not just as it was, but as it could be, a place where every individual had worth and dignity, where diversity was not merely tolerated but embraced. His poetry, then, was both a mirror and a map, a reflection of the present and a vision for the future. During his lifetime, Whitman's work was often controversial and received with mixed critical reception. Some praised his originality and boldness, while others found his style and subject matter offensive or incomprehensible. Despite this, Whitman remained steadfast in his vision. He revised and expanded Leaves of Grass throughout his life, issuing multiple editions that reflected his evolving thoughts and experiences. He viewed the book as a living work, one that would grow alongside the nation it sought to represent. In addition to his poetry, Whitman also engaged in prose writing and political commentary. He was a passionate advocate for democracy, individual rights, and social progress. His writings often addressed issues of freedom, identity, and the role of the artist in society. He believed that literature had the power to unite people, to heal divisions, and to inspire moral and spiritual growth. In this sense, he saw the poet not just as a creator of verse, but as a prophet and healer, someone whose words could shape the destiny of a people. Whitman's influence on American literature and culture cannot be overstated. He paved the way for future generations of poets and writers, from Allen Ginsberg and Langston Hughes to contemporary voices still inspired by his vision of inclusivity and individualism. His work has been translated into numerous languages and continues to resonate globally. He remains a symbol of artistic freedom and the enduring power of language to express the full spectrum of human experience. Though he died in 1892, Whitman's voice endures. His poetry continues to be studied, celebrated, and reinterpreted, testifying to its enduring relevance. In a world often divided by ideology and identity, Whitman's call for empathy, connection, and the celebration of the human spirit feels more vital than ever. His legacy is not just in the words he wrote, but in the space he created for others to speak their truth and find themselves in the collective song of humanity. Through the vast plains of his poetry, Walt Whitman remains a voice of America, not fixed in time, but ever evolving, boundless, and free.